Right now, the job market sucks, but it especially sucks for new grads as they're sandwiched in between AI, heightened expectations, inflation, and just general BS about AGI that really isn't here yet. So, we are going to watch Henny 117's video about a cooked computer science grad's perspective. As always, we'll watch sped up because your time is valuable, my time is valuable. Let's go.
Um, this is going to be me as a computer science new grad. I graduated in August of 2025, and this is going to be me just talking about my experience as somebody who probably is considered to be cooked. Now, why am I cooked? Apparently because I, don't have any internships. I never did any internships while I was going to school. I'm walking out of college with just my degree to my name.
This is one of the craziest things to me. So I used to be at MIT Lincoln Labs, and I got a connection that sent me a message, and he was looking for an internship, a summer internship for his daughter, who's already at Cal Berkeley, so very prestigious school, and she's only a freshman. Like, this is almost entirely new, and everything has become much more competitive than when I came out. I can scarcely believe how competitive things are versus about 20 years ago when I was in school.
Pretty much. And yes, I do have, a lot of projects that I was doing, I have a few that I've done on my own, but mostly they were school projects. And the reason for this is I just kind of came into computer science as a freshman. And I chose that because I liked it and I thought it was very interesting. I built my PC that I used to stream with in high school. And ever since then, I've become pretty interested in computers and everything like that. So I went to school for that just because I felt like, this is going to be cool. This is going to be something I'm going to be really interested in. And I was willing to bet that is going to be a pretty reliable, way of getting a job soon after college. Maybe not directly out of school. I don't really think I had thought that I was just going to be easy, to make it out, and then instantly get a job. But I was wrong. I was really wrong, especially.
I feel for him because there's a lot of my story in this kid's story. I was not really a computer guy. I looked at majors. I looked at what paid best, and obviously we're coming out of the dot-com bubble. But I figured this would rebound. This is a hot field, and so yeah, I didn't know much, and I felt like I was constantly, like, my head was right here and the water was almost rushing over the top of me. So I get where he's coming from.
Due to the fact that I, once again, don't have any prior experience. I have been out of school for about 2 months now, and basically I've just been going on LinkedIn and all the job sites, just trying to find anything, applying to a lot of things. And now I'm trying to get internships, right? Except the only problem is they are really only accepting people that are still going to school, at least most of the ones I'm seeing on LinkedIn. And again, this is going to be, kind of a limited perspective here because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And that is the whole point of this. I never had anybody in my family that had done any type of computer science or IT or technology field. My dad and his family really only started getting money like once they were in their 30s, and they went into the investment side of the business and everything that has to do with that. So I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing. All I knew how to do was go to class and try to do my best in school, and I did. But now what? Now what am I supposed to do? I'm in, an absolutely horrible job market, especially for new grads, especially for computer science.
Okay, let's stop and let's talk about what he's doing. So LinkedIn is great for putting on a facade about how professional you are and maintaining a loose connection of different people that you've met that may or may not do a favor for you in the future. Really, it's not all that useful. What you really want to do is, if you want to be hired, everyone who's hiring is looking for two things. They want someone they know. And why do they want someone they know? Because the more they know about you, the more they can determine whether they, one, like you, and two, whether you're capable. Where capable can mean intelligent, hardworking, skilled, diligent, all these things. So ideally, you are both of these things. You are someone that people like, and you're capable. That's fantastic. You can kind of get by with one of these or the other. If people really, really like you and things are going well at the company, they may keep you. Just because you're here, you kind of know things. If you're screwing everything up, if you're causing fires to break out in the server room because your code is such unoptimized crap and the HVAC can't keep up, no, they're not going to keep you. But if you're reasonably competent, maybe not somebody they would hire again, but decent, they'll keep you. And obviously, if you're capable, great, fantastic. If you are extremely capable, you can get away with being an asshole. So ideally, you're both of these. So he is just right now applying on LinkedIn, which is going to be kind of just a whole bunch of ghost positions and thousands of applications, AI applications being submitted. So the odds are not good. So, and I can understand why he's going this route, but this is not the way to go.
New grads, it every day feels like to me that I ask myself, what was it all for? And at the same time, I can list several reasons. I love going to school for computer science. I loved grinding and really working hard to get good grades and learning about, different types of programming languages and computer architecture and data structures and everything like that. I always thought that was super interesting. But I never knew the way to go while I was going to school. And really, that absolutely screwed me over.
There is a huge disconnect between what they teach at school and what you actually need on the job. That's 100% true. And I can remember how much I loved, yes, my data structures, algorithms courses, all those things. 90% of a job, tragically, is politics, meetings, working in a team with others. It's soft skills and things that are not taught generally.
It was horrible. It was an absolutely terrible decision, or I should say non-decision, because I didn't go for internships. But at the same time, I'm sitting here like, I don't really know, what else I was going to do, right? It's not like I knew in my mind the whole time, right? As soon as I get out of school, I'm going to be completely cooked. I had figured at least that, after doing maybe some personal projects and stuff on the side, that, people would be hiring, and I would at least have a chance, right? To me, right now, it feels like I have absolutely no chance of succeeding in this industry.
So he's really stuck on the internships, which makes sense. But again, if you go back, what the internships are is they're a way of shortcutting the process of getting to know somebody. So rather than you doing the interview yourself, you assume that if someone has a ton of internships, if Microsoft said okay, if Google said okay, all right, you must be great. And so we can kind of short circuit this process. And so as a result, he's actually having to go through the front door, and it's brutal and painful.
And that's not necessarily me trying to be all doomer, like the devs are cooked, entirety of computer science is cooked. I am cooked. Me. That's what this video is about. This video isn't about, how bad the job market is for everybody else. To be honest, I feel like most people are going to be doing better than I am. This is because, like I said, most people knew to get internships and everything. I'm sure they had some outside guidance and, ability to go and get some of these things. I just didn't know. All I knew what to do was go to school. That's what I was good at. And so I did, like my school had job fairs and everything. And I went to those, just to try to get, lay the land. And I ended up getting like one interview, but I was so ridiculously unprepared. But I also think that was my first interview ever for any computer science related job, at least. I've worked like 3-4 other jobs, just for the sake of getting money. But this is different. This is, something that could be my life and secure my future and make it so I can eat at the end of the day. Because right now I don't have any money, and that's not like a thing where I'm worried about going homeless. Thankfully, my parents are letting me live with them while I'm trying to find anything. And the way it's looking now, I'm probably going to have to go and get a job somewhere else. So, one of the other jobs that I used to work, maybe I'll just go back there just to get some money, because to me, it just seems completely fucked, like in my situation, because
this is actually really great advice, and it's good that he's doing this. You have to have, even if it's not your primary job or your most desirable job, you need to have something where it's, hey, I go in, I have a regular schedule, because if you just keep applying and you don't hear anything back, you don't get any feedback, it's incredibly frustrating. And yeah, so he will have to continue applying, but at the very least having the social outlet of whatever job he can get. Yeah, it's going to be very helpful, because it's a huge step back. It's incredibly just infantilizing to have to go back to your parents. You've just graduated. You feel like you're about to embark on this brand new course of life, and then you're back home.
I can sit here, work on projects and everything, but I have no fucking experience. I don't have shit. These companies will not look at me. At least that's what I think, right? These companies will not look at me the moment they check my LinkedIn profile and notice I have no CS experience. Now, let's go back to the whole college deal, right? The way I approached college was to do as many classes as I could reasonably each semester, including summer semesters, and get out as soon as possible so I could quickly get a job. That was my plan. It turns out that was the worst plan that I could have done. Now, granted, I could have, just done something else and really messed my life up, but I thought I was playing by the rules. I thought I was following all the rules and I was going to secure what I needed to. I was going to secure a job or some type of job experience, internship, anything. But now it just feels like the goalpost has been moved, and there's not a whole lot that I can do about it. Really, I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. So I sit here feeling like an absolutely useless human, scrolling through jobs, trying to find something, scrolling through CS content, trying to figure out projects I could work on or research or something like that.
Okay, we've seen enough. So let's talk about, I'm going to break this down into like 4 steps in terms of how to get a job. So step 0, and this is the most important, control what you can control. So things you can't control: the economy. Can't control the people you're interacting with, other people. The guy who's interviewing you or reviewing your application, they might be an asshole. They might be having a bad day. They might not give you the time of day. they may ask you an interview question that is terrible. You just have to continue. And by the way, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just telling you, this is my set of steps. If you want to maximize your opportunity and make it maximally likely that you get a job. And finally, you can't control what's going to happen with AI. Worrying about it, worrying about whether it's coming for all the jobs or not, that's like worrying if nuclear war is going to happen tomorrow. That's something that's in the hands of the Chinese, the Russians, Donald Trump right now, and we're just along for the ride. Okay, so next is what every realtor knows, which is location, location, location. Your proximity to other people is incredibly important. So pick a major tech hub. So what are examples of major tech hubs, and what are the characteristics of them? You could probably name a bunch, but we'll just say many universities, multiple industries, tends to be near a port. So major shipping. Essentially, can you name 5 ideal jobs? Ideally, it would be much more. Ideally, you'd have many more. But can you name 5 places that would potentially be competing? So say Facebook, Google, Anthropic, for your specific talent, because that's ultimately what you're in. You're in a market and you are selling your talent. So let's go ahead and let's go over the map. And to save time, I already marked it up. So in green, you have the major grade A tech hubs: Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Chicago, DC, probably misplaced down there, New York, and Boston. You might be able to argue that something else should be sneaking in. Maybe Austin should be in there, but that's essentially it. Then you have kind of secondary things. And these are all, in addition to being major tech hubs, they also have a large populace, which means they have other industries that then come as a result. So like lots of real estate sales, lots of home construction, banking that goes along with it. You have the food demand of this population. And so as a result, you have supermarkets. You just have a lot of activity. And you'll notice there are a few more. And again, you want to add Salt Lake or something like that. Fine. But the overwhelming thing to notice is it's not many places. And most of the US is just empty fields, banjos, and hopelessness. And that's really unfortunate. But we're not here to solve socioeconomic issues. We're not here to deal with the concentration that's happened as a result of all this specialization and consolidation. Instead, we're here to get you the best opportunity possible. So number one, you have to go somewhere like this. And you might say, well, but I'm working in tech. Isn't tech fully remote? Yeah, it should be ideally, but in practicality, much like a relationship, which is exactly what an employment is, would you rather be dating a significant other that lives 10 minutes away, an hour away, 10 hours away? All other things being equal, of course, somebody closer is going to get more of the benefit of the doubt. And so you want to be close. Additionally, you want to be able to run into these people on a regular basis. And this is hard because, as with the guy whose video we're watching, he's living at home. I don't know where home is for him. He doesn't have a lot of money, and these are expensive places to live. There's a reason they're expensive, though. You can get you could probably buy all of Kansas for, I don't know, 3 sticks of gum and $50. But what are you going to do in Kansas? Okay, so now you are around other people, other like-minded people. There are many opportunities around you, but you're still stuck. You still have this massive queue of AI-generated submissions, and you're just another name. And they're just sorting, and they're saying, give me people that have at least 3 internships. So the next thing you have to do, meet people, skip the line. So you can't entirely skip the line, but what you can do is you can get referrals, and you can also find out about positions that aren't listed. And how do you do this? Because you don't know anyone yet. Well, go to somewhere like meetup.com, Eventbrite, Luma, any of these sites, local universities, see what they're doing, see what events they have, and just start scrolling. And I wouldn't just, you could isolate yourself to tech, but I would say look broadly, look at all events, look and see, maybe you enjoy karaoke. Okay, go to karaoke. You may meet people, you may not. You don't know who's going to be there with you. But I can tell you, it's the craziest thing when I'm riding the Boston T and somebody talks to me late at night and I find out this person has a PhD in biomedicine or something like that. These are experiences you can only get when you're in this kind of select tech sphere, hub, etc. And so you never know. Pick things you enjoy, number one. If you just hate what you're going to, it's going to be very obvious. You're going to be miserable. Some of the things may be more workish, but you go, you talk to people, and you have a genuine interest. It's really important. I've had people come up to me and they are just so clearly looking to know whether I have a job opening. You have to view this as you're building a relationship, and it might take time. And I understand, as a new grad, that sucks to hear. It's like, I got to get paid now. But the way you need to look at this is you are going to see a whole bunch of the same group of people. People who are really interested, for example, in AI are going to be attending all these different events. Actually, this one's virtual, but you get the idea. They're going to be attending all these different events. So you want them to have a positive association with you. And the ways you can do that are be pleasant, talk to people as if they're people, not potential job openings. Bring value in any way that you can. And you might say, I'm a new grad, I don't have any value to bring. Set up chairs at events. Pick up the food. Do any of these things. Or give a speech. I run a very large, well, all right, I'm getting all high and mighty here. I have a meetup group with about 2,000 members, and I am always looking for speakers for events. And you might think, well, what do I have to speak about? You can talk about your own experience. You can talk about learning AI as a computer scientist, or the job market and the job search. And those are all ways to get yourself in kind of a position of authority and where you're demonstrating value and you're learning to speak and you're learning all these soft skills that you need. And then when people have an opening, they'll think, hey, that guy's kind of useful. Okay, right? That's one of them. Capable. I liked that guy. I know this guy. He is a known quantity. Hey, you should apply for this. And that can get you in the door. You can also, as you start to know people better, you can ask. And you should ask. If you're looking for something, hey, do you have any openings? Hey, I saw you're working on this, or you mentioned this. I'm also in the generative AI space. I've been playing with these models. What's your favorite model? Are you guys doing anything at work? Do you need somebody to maybe set up the servers or something like that? Okay, that was meeting people. 3, interview. There is so much interview prep and ways like leak code and all those different things. You don't need my help here. Do the interview, pass the interview, make sure, again, this is a soft skill thing. So as a fellow technologist, I'll just tell you, I have interviewed many people. I literally had a guy who put his head down on the desk. I wasn't even being mean. I was really being encouraging, but the guy just completely shut down on me. And then we had about another 20 minutes and it's like, how do I salvage this so I have not just emotionally traumatized this individual? Like, put yourself in positions, again, speak in public, do interview prep so you're not there. And then finally, and this is going to seem weird because you don't think you're in a position to do this, but negotiate. You would be surprised. You could easily get a 10% raise. Just be reasonable about it. Talk to the people. Don't be like some movie character where you just bang on the table and say, I am worth no less than $150,000. That goes right into they will not like you and they will think you're an asshole and they won't want to deal with you. But if you are reasonable, you're going to be negotiating not with the team that you're going to be working with, not with your boss, with HR. And so you're not burning a bridge and you are potentially giving yourself upside. So definitely negotiate. Anyway, so that was my review. I know we didn't go all the way through it, but I think we got the general sense of what's going on with Henny 117. That would be my advice to him is, again, start with location, then get yourself out there, try to skip the line as best you can. Once you've got the interviews, do the best you can, and just keep grinding, brother. Good luck.